In the last lecture, we learned what is a schema and why we might want to define a schema for a document in a collection. Working with documents in a collection which do not have a predefined schema can be a cumbersome task when we want to use it in a real-world application. Also, in a collection which does not have a schema, we can insert any type of document. We can insert a user document in a products collection, and MongoDB will not complain about it. But when we define a schema for a collection, only those documents which follows that schema can be inserted in that collection. And hence, we should always have some kind of schema defined for our collections. Now the question is, how can we define a schema for the documents of a collection? Let's learn that. Let's go to Mongo shell. We can define a schema for a collection when we are creating that collection explicitly. And it is also possible to define a schema on an existing collection. In this lecture, I will show you how to define a schema when you are creating a collection newly. And in the next lecture, I will show you how you can modify a collection and define a schema for that existing collection. So we have learned that in order to create a collection explicitly on the DB object, we call the create collection method. The first argument of this create collection method is the name of the collection which we want to create. So let's say we want to create a users collection. Now we already have a users collection here. So first of all, I'm going to drop that users collection. For that, I'm using this drop method on the users collection. So that collection has been dropped. To verify that, let's simply say show collections. So this command is going to return us all the collections which is available in this e-shopping database. As you can see, here we have only orders and products collection. The users collection has been dropped. Let's clear the shell here. And now let's go ahead and let's create this collection. So the first argument of this create collection method is the name of the collection. And then the second argument is an optional options argument. So this options argument, this we have already seen when we talked about collections in this course. So at that time, we use this options object to create a capped collection. So for example, we specified properties like capped to true. Then we also set property like size, because when we are creating a capped collection, we need to specify a size. And we also specified what are the maximum documents that capped collection is going to have. So these properties we have already seen, but here we don't want to create a capped collection. So I'm not going to set these properties here. Instead, what I want is I want to define a clear schema for this users collection. For that, here we are going to use another property called validator. Okay, to this we need to assign an object. Inside that object, the first thing which we need to specify is what type of schema do we want to define here. Here we want to define a JSON schema. So for that we are going to use this $JSON schema operator. Okay, again to this we need to assign an object. So we are going to create a JSON schema. What will be the type of that schema? That we can specify using bson type. So here in the collection, we want to insert a document, and a document is nothing but an object, right? So here the type of this schema is going to be object. Then the second property will be the required property. This required property is going to store an array, and in this array we are going to specify what should be the required fields for a document in this users collection. So in this users collection, whenever we are going to insert a document, that document must have a name, it must have an email, and it should also always have this address field. So these are the three required fields I want for all the documents in this users collection. Okay, so again, in order to define a schema, we are using this validator property. Let me move it to a separate line to make it more readable. To this validator property, we are assigning an object. Inside that object, we are specifying what type of schema do we want to define. Here, we want to define a JSON schema. Now, to this, again, we are assigning an object. There, we are specifying the type of that schema. it is going to be an object because in the users collection we want to store documents, and documents are nothing but objects. Then we are specifying what are the required fields we want in this schema. So here we want name, email, and address as required fields. And then we can also specify what are the fields we want in the documents which we are going to insert in this users collection. So to define the fields, we are going to specify properties. This is going to be an object. Now for the required property here, we have specified what should be the required fields. But using these properties, apart from required fields, we can also specify other fields. And we can also specify what type of data those fields are going to store. So first of all, I'm going to specify these three fields because these are required. So I want to have a name field. To this, let's assign an object, and there let's specify what type of value this name field can store. And to specify the type, again we can use bson type. And here this name property is going to store string value. Okay. If the user does not specify a name field when inserting the document, or if he specifies some other value other than string, then we might also want to show an error message. So to show an error message, we can use this description property. And here, let's say name is a required field, or let's say name is a required text field, because name is required and it should also have a string value. If we try to assign any other value to this name field, in that case, it will throw an error. So we also want to show the user that either he has not provided a value for the name field, or he has provided a value which is not allowed for this name field. If the user assigns a numeric value to this name field, that will not be allowed. So that's why we have clearly mentioned that name is a required text field. Let me copy this name object from here. In the same way, we are also going to specify email field. So I'll paste it and I'll simply change the field name here to email. Email is also going to store a string value, and in the description, let's say email is a required text field. Okay, then let's go ahead and let's add another field. So here the property name is going to be address. Now in case of address, address is going to store an embedded document. So in this case, here the bson type is going to be object again, because this address is going to store an embedded document. For the description, let's say address is a required field. Okay, and now since this address is going to be an object, we also need to specify what fields do we want in that address embedded document. For that, again, we can use properties here. Inside these properties, we are going to specify what fields do we want in the embedded document, which will be assigned to this address field. So here I want to have a street. Let's specify its bson type, its data type as string. Okay, and in the same way, let me copy this property. Let's paste it here. I also want to have a city, which is again going to be of type string, and I want to have country property inside this address embedded document, and that country property is also going to store a string value. So here we have specified the required fields. Now apart from these required fields, I also want to have a gender field. Now this gender is not going to be a required field. So if the user want, he can specify a value for this gender field, and if not, he can also omit this value. But here I'll specify the type here. So the bson type here for gender is also going to be string. All right. So here we have defined a very simple schema with only four properties: name, email, address, and gender. Out of these fields, name, email, and address is required field. But in this way, you can also create more complex schema. Here, I want to keep things simple. I just want to show you how to define a schema for documents in a collection. And here, I'm defining a very simple schema by keeping few fields. But if your document is going to have a lot of fields and you want to add a lot more validation, your schema might become a little complex. In the schema, you can define more nested documents. You can also specify array fields. You can specify object IDs, etc. But here, let's keep things simple. So here I have a name property for my document, an email property, an address property, and a gender property. Now this gender property is optional, it is not required. So this is how we can create a schema using validator. And this schema we are defining when we are creating the collection. Okay, so let me go ahead and let me copy this, and let's go ahead and let's create this users collection with the schema which we have defined. Let's paste it here in Mongo shell, and let's press enter, and let's hope everything goes well. So here you can see we have received this acknowledgement as OK as 1. That means the users collection has been created and this schema has been defined for that users collection. Let me clear this shell here, and let's test if the schema is doing the data validation or not. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a document. For that I'm going to use this insert one method. So I'm going to insert a document without specifying a required field. I'll specify the name field. Let's say name is John. I'll specify email field. Let's say email is john@gmail.com. But I'll not specify the address field. Now address is also a required field because we have specified address in this required array. But I'm not going to specify the address field. Let's specify gender, and let's say gender is male. So let's try to insert this document in the collection. Let me copy this. Let's paste it here. And if I press enter, we should get an error. As you can see, here we have got an error. And the error is because we have a missing property called address. Address is a required field, but we have not specified that. That's why we have this error. Let's go ahead and let's specify the address field also. And for the address, we need to specify a document. In that, we need to specify a street. Let's say street is XYZ street. Let's specify city as London, and let's specify country as UK. Okay, but here what I'll also do is for this name I'll try to assign a numeric value 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, now if you remember, for this name we are expecting a string value, but here I'm assigning a numeric value. So in this case also, when the data will be validated, MongoDB will find that to this name field we are assigning a wrong value. It should be a string value, but here I'm trying to assign a numeric value. So again, it should throw an error and it should not insert this document in the collection. So let me copy this. Let's paste it here. And if I press enter, again you will see that we have an error. So as you can see in the details, the bson type is string, but we are trying to assign an integer value. 1 2 3 4 5 is an integer value. So it says the reason why this validation has failed is type did not match. Okay, so if we try to insert a value other than the type which we have specified for that field, MongoDB will throw a validation error. And whenever there will be a validation error, the insert operation will not happen. Keep that point in mind. If the data which we are trying to insert, if it fails validation, in that case, that document will not be inserted in the collection. Let's clear this shell. Now, let me go ahead and let me assign a proper value here. And let's go ahead and let's try to insert this document. So let's paste it here. And this time we have specified proper values to each field, and we also have all the required fields. So this time this document should be inserted in the users collection. If I press enter, now you'll see that we don't have any validation error and the document has been inserted to this users collection. Now let's try one more thing. Here we have specified these fields: name, email, address, and gender. And these fields we have specified in the schema: name, email, address, and gender. Now, apart from these fields, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to specify another field, let's say age. And here, let's say age is 28. Now, when I'll try to insert this document in the collection, what do you think what will happen? Whether it is going to insert this document in the collection or not? Because in the schema, we have not defined this age field. So let's see what happens. If I press enter, you will see that the document has been inserted. If I say db.users.find, we will have two documents there. And in the second document, the age is also inserted. Now, we have not specified this age property in the schema. Then how come it is inserting this age also? Well, in the schema, whatever fields you have specified, whatever are the required fields, that will be mandatory. And apart from these fields, you can also add other fields. But if you want to make sure that only those fields should be added in the document, which is defined in the schema, then after this properties, you also need to set another property, which is additional properties. And you need to set it to false. Okay. So in the next lecture, what we will do is, here we have already created our users collection. Let me clear the shell here. So we have already created our users collection where we have defined some schema. Now we want to update that schema, and there we also want to add this property, additional properties. I'll show you how we can update an existing collection and how we can update its schema in the next lecture. All right. So the advantage of using schema on your collection is, if you try to insert an invalid document, a document which does not satisfy the schema which you have defined for that collection, MongoDB will not insert that document in the collection and it will throw an error. If the document satisfies the schema, then only it will be inserted. Otherwise, MongoDB will throw a validation error. So in here, in this users collection, we can only insert those documents which has a name, email and address field. Alright, so this is all from this lecture. I hope now you understand how we can define a schema on a collection while creating that collection. In the next lecture, let's learn more about schema validation. Thank you for listening and have a great day.